Today's Toy Spot, we are having a look at the DC Collectibles Batman the Animated Series, figure number 33, Talia al Ghul. Talia comes with 14 pieces, including her display stand tucked away in there. I don't know if you can see it or not, it's right at the back there. Looks like she also comes with a gun, which is a nice touch, especially for some of the figures that unfortunately don't come with accessories. At least Talia gets herself a gun. The back of the package, once again, has nothing featured on the back except for www.dccomics.com, where you can check out more of the DC collectibles that the company are going to be releasing soon. As well, you can head over to www.comicsshoplocator.com if you'd like to find a comic book store in your area. Spot's going to take a break and get this opened up. When we come back, though, we're going to get a better look at the Batman the Animated Series, figure number 33, Talia al Ghul. There's more anyway, guys. Don't go anywhere. Included with Talia al Ghul, she comes with a promotional little booklet. The reason why I'm showing you this booklet, normally, I always show booklets in the reviews. But the reason why I want to show this particular one is because it does show new characters that weren't shown in some of the previous reviews that we looked at. This one now showcases the Batman and Robin with the Bat Signal set. You've got Harvey Bullock, Ventriloquist, Talia al Ghul, a new Joker from the new Batman Adventures, much to the dismay of people that did not like that design. Then you've got a Harley Quinn, Poison Ivy, Livewire, Supergirl, and Batgirl set. Not to mention a very promising Batman, Robin, and Mutant Leader pack from the Legends of the Dark Knight. Can't wait to get really all of these, especially the two sets down below here, I think are really going to be good. Alright, so we can put that to the side. Talia also includes a very familiar display stand, although a little bit not as familiar. She doesn't have the adjustable back portion of the waist clip. She solely has a waist clip that slides up and down, but it does not have the prongs at the back to make the clip forward and back motion. In fact, let's see what we got over here. Spot just did the review of Harvey Bullock. You can see the difference between the two. I'm perfectly fine that they just continue to use these. I still don't know why they have to have the very long rods for the adjustable waist clips. I mean, these serve perfectly just as fine a use as these ones here. But there is the difference between the two. On the stand itself, you have a front, side, and 3/4 back turnaround on Talia al Ghul. And we can put it right over there. She does have two flat palms, and I'm actually surprised that she's standing for a figure that has such small feet as she does. She has two flat palms currently in the sockets of her arms, but she comes with actually a total of four extra hands and then two on the ones on her sockets. That would give us a total of 6. You probably say to yourself, well, Spot, there's only 3 here. There is only 3 here. I did drop one when I was trying to get the figure out of packaging, and sure enough, I just can't find where the other hand went to. But it's not that much of a variation from the ones that we have here. A couple of hands suited for holding her gun, and then she would have had 2 closed fists. I just have dropped the other closed fist. It's on the floor. To change out her hands, because I am going to want to display her with her gun, I'm going to wiggle her one hand out of the socket, just like that. Very easy to change out. And let's find the suitable hand to put back into the socket. There we go. And the other thing that she comes with, we'll just put these hands to the side. She does come also with a little gun. Very simplistic looking gun. I do like the design of it though. No real paint added to the gun itself. It's very much a primary black, just very matte black color. We can go ahead and put that into her very, very small, I might add, hands. So small, in fact, that when I did drop the hand onto the floor, I could not find it. I couldn't find the hand if it saved my life. There we go. We can put it into her hand. It is strange, though, the way that she holds the gun. Maybe the one I did drop on the floor was one for a better suited holding hand for the gun itself. But they put them on angles where it makes it almost very difficult to have the hand holding the gun straight up. seems to want to angle the gun downward. So even when you display her, she's going to be displaying with the gun pointing down. See if we can try to fix that a little bit. We'll angle it slightly up. But, I mean, her hand looks like it's arching itself downward. Yeah, it doesn't do the greatest of job of having the gun pointing straight up. It wants to angle the gun downward. So that's a bit disappointing. While we're on the topic of disappointing, geez, Spot, that's not a great way to, that's not a good topic to stay on. But while we're on the topic of disappointing, I have to be honest about this figure. I'm a little disappointed by this figure. The body isn't bad. The coloring is good, and very traditional Talia colors in the purple and this somewhat purplish gray color all works fairly well. But it's a lot like, to be honest, this Zatanna that we also had a look at on this channel. Everything about Zatanna I liked, except for the face. And Talia, I almost feel the same way. Let's get a better look at her face. Now, the go-to for a Talia design is she generally has hair covering over her face, but if you do move the hair out of the way, sure enough, you do see a face underneath all that. They simply just conceal it. That's nice rather than pulling the hair to the side and realizing there's just a big glue stain right there. No, they did actually sculpt it. But I think what kills it for me is her mouth. I feel like Talia, first of all, shouldn't have as round of a face. Her face should be a little bit more narrow. Now let's take that from the context of the show's character design and rather not the original Kenner released Talia that I think came with like a 5-pack of figures. The Talia there, I think, had a much more slender face. Even the same in the show had a more slender face. This Talia very much is more rounder in her facial structure. The one thing I don't like is that I feel like with a Talia figure, why wouldn't they have had the mouth closed and that she had a more sultry look on her face? Instead, they give her a mouth that's open, and it doesn't quite read as a smile. It doesn't quite read as sultry. It kind of reads as if she's eaten like a sour candy, or she's eaten something weird that she's not very happy with. I don't like the mouth. If I kind of went like this, covering the mouth completely, the eyes are good, the nose is decent enough, and then it just gets destroyed by what I can only describe as a really poor choice of mouth. Not sure why they went that route, but ultimately it's not a design I really care for. Like I said though, the rest of the figure is fine. I really have no issues with the figure. The figure is very basic in its design, well, which I guess is very common for a lot of the Batman animated series and New Batman Adventures. It's a very simplistic, basic design to the character outfits. So there's really not a lot of bells and whistles. She's like a little pouch on the side of her leg, which seems to be a solid plastic. She's also got a belt, but other than that, just like gloves, some boots, and for the most part, she's just got a gray suit. It's very much like something like a Catwoman would wear. Very, very basic design. But again, I don't mind it. I don't really mind it at all if the face was good. And to be honest, the face is what kills it for me. When it comes to Talia's articulation, her head does rotate, so it's not limited by any stretch of the imagination because her hair is rubbery at least. You can still move the head up and down, left and right. The shoulders hinge out fairly easy enough. You can rotate it forward and back all the way around. At times you may need to move the hair out of the way because especially this one arm here, as soon as it starts hitting the hair, it either pushes the hair out of the way or it slightly starts pushing the arm out. So just be mindful of that. She does have a bend in the elbow. The forearm also rotates left and right. She has a rotation also in her hand and as well a hinge back and forth. Talia's articulation in her waist, well, she doesn't seem to have any. If she does, I can't move it. But judging by the way it's been painted, I'm going to assume that it's not a movable piece. It looks like it's sculpted to the waist portion. As for her legs go forward, really only to about there because of the pouches in her belt, and to only about there because of the sculpt of her back. She does have a bend at the knee, And of course, she has the legs split as well, a common sight with the new Batman and animated series figures. And she does also have a hinge in the foot. No rotation right where the top of the boot is residing, instead just a hinge up and down. Of the female figures to be released in the Batman Adventures, new Batman Adventures and animated series, I have to admit that this is one of the least desirable, at least in my own personal opinion. The Zatanna was okay. I feel like Zatanna and Talia are kind of in that same category. Figures are okay, but the heads really kill it for me for really liking the figure itself. Talia just gets a pass in my books, and pass in the way of a grade. I wouldn't say you would necessarily have to pass on the figure. If you have Ra's al Ghul, it's all the more reason why you would want to pick up his daughter Talia, but to be honest, the Talia is really disappointing, at least from a facial sculpt. Today's toy spot, we were looking at the DC Collectibles. This was the Batman Animated Series figure 33, Talia al Ghul. Stay tuned, guys. Spot's going to have more toy spots heading your way. As always, thanks for watching. See you next time.